You are now listening to Between Us Girls, the podcast, where we discuss life's fuckeries and then some over wine.
Hey, welcome to our show. This is Michelle.
Danielle.
And Sharonda.
I can't even say it. Somebody else gotta say it.
And this is
Keto.
Between Us Girls.
I mean, in bug.
Yeah.
Between Us Girls. Dum, dum,
Ooh.
dum.
And we are enjoying some amazing keto snacks because we have a guest. So you just have to excuse me
Bruh.
because this shit is good. So, Danielle, why are we positive this week? What are we being positive about? Give us the positivity.
So this week's motivational gym.
Take yourself seriously.
I'm like Jim from the 80s, like, Jim is truly outrageous.
Aren't they making a movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This week's motivational gym is to be a visionary, you need a vision. Like, I really don't know how you can be successful if you can't even see it.
Right.
Yeah.
But what if you Ray Charles?
Then you got to feel the elbow.
Yeah.
No, it ain't the elbow, it's the wrist.
The wrist. The wrist.
The wrist.
The wrist.
Take a rest.
The wrist.
I like that.
So funny. I made it funny.
You did. Okay, well, you know what? I really agree with that. I think that you definitely need to know which direction you are going in.
Agreed.
When you, oh yeah, there's my tripod, but we can't. There's no.
When you're visionarying.
Visionary.
Right. When you're trying to be a visionary, you must have a vision with a direction.
Well.
There go. Okay. All right. Anyway, so what are we sipping on? This looks interesting.
First of all, this bottle, I'm not going to say what really first came to mind. So let me just pass that up.
Ringling Brothers.
Ish. We're drinking Behringer Brothers Bourbon Barrel Aged Chardonnay, and it's aged for 60 days actually, which is nice.
Okay.
Michelle,
I better
you
turn
ready?
it all the way up.
are you ready?
Yes.
In my Keith Murray voice, it's gonna be a party, y'all. 14.5% on the alcohol.
Will I be able to make it home?
Turn it, cut it. Oh,
Yep.
And the
I'm going
vintage,
all the way up.
and the vintage is 2016. I'm gonna take like the best picture ever because it's like a really dope bottle. But yeah, vintage 2016, and we will let you know what we think at the end of the episode.
Okay, great. So I feel like we need to talk some more about these treats that we're having.
Bruh.
I know that ain't nobody but Michaela. Okay, so I'm gonna live with you on this so you can explain the treats. Okay.
Yeah. We got to introduce our guest.
Okay.
No, I'm just one of the girls.
Well, hey, we're back. And, okay. Sorry, my phone was like, girl, you don't know how to do this. All right, so we're back, and we have my keto success story, Instagram outrage, Miss Ashley here. And she brought us some keto snacks. So I am going to flip the camera around, and I'm going to let her explain to you what we're snacking on.
Okay. First I made some Blondie's brownies. I'm lazy. It's a mix that I bought from Amazon. It's Good D's brownie mix, and they do have a brownie and a blondie. I got the blondie because it was on sale, National Blondie Day. Anyway, so what I did was I added like a cup of peanut butter and some unsweetened coconut and Lily's chocolate chips, and it's really delicious.
No, it's good. Like all bullshit to the side. It's good.
Now, you know it's good when somebody say all bullshit to the side. All bullshit to the
not even like a professional chef voice. Like, no, for real. All bullshit to the side. Like, do y'all see how I'm eating this cupcake? Like, this shit is good. So
I like the cupcake.
Cheesecake? Okay.
The cheesecake cupcake, right?
It's just like a mini, yeah. It's easily portioned that way.
Yeah.
Now it looks cute. Can you tell us how you made that?
Okay, so for the crust is almond flour, butter, cinnamon, and erythritol. And so you just mix it together, press it in the bottom of the silicone, and then bake it. And then I added the filling, which is just cream cheese, egg, erythritol, Mexican vanilla, and lemon. And then I put some sugar-free jam on top once it was finished baking in the oven.
Okay, can I watch you taste it? Can we see? Wow, look how she took that out. Just kidding. Yeah, so I'm gonna taste mine, Danielle. That was Danielle's favorite. I am definitely a fan of the Blondie because I am loving the fact that it tastes like anything my mom used to bake.
So you want me like coconut stuff?
My mama used to be like, I need some sugar. So she would go make some sweets and with anything that she had up in there.
Give me that steak back there.
Yeah, we finna put some sugar on it.
Make that piece of bacon this way. I got you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're leaving again. We're gonna eat our snacks. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so man, this is really cool. So tell us exactly how much weight you've lost.
90 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Girl, shut up.
For real.
There's no way.
Have you looked at my Instagram page ever?
No, I haven't. No, I did.
For
I
research?
did. But I haven't seen any. I saw other stuff like information that you put
Like
on there.
before
I
and
didn't
after?
See, yeah, I didn't see before and after.
Let's see.
I'll go now.
Okay, just for quick reference, like this is what, like before and now.
Oh my God, it's my same belly.
That's what everyone says. So I was telling Danielle before y'all got here, like I feel like my husband never saw that stomach until I started making these side by sides. Like I was so covered up
Yeah.
and ashamed that like,
Oh, not me. You gonna take all this belly? Damn.
Oh wait, but this is really good too.
The brownie.
Huh. Mm-hmm. The cupcake
No, the
thingy with the.
cupcake.
Oh,
No,
the
but
cupcake.
did you get a bite with all 3 layers?
You know I did.
Okay, see, I know you know how to eat the food.
Thank you. I ain't got this thick for no reason. Let me see the before and after photo.
Girl,
sorry.
listen.
I mean, I've looked at your, but
Let me find out keto's gonna be my only way.
The thing that I think the reason I've been so successful is just because like this. Like I don't have to miss out on anything. I'm not stuck somewhere like eating margarine, like I can't believe it's not butter, and like fat-free cheese that won't melt. Like, you know, I get to eat really good food.
Yeah.
That's still delicious.
yeah, I think that was one of the things that made me like it whenever I was like super keto was that I could still eat savory food.
Right? Cheese
Yeah,
and
that's
meat
what I love.
and freaking butter, like, and bacon. Like,
Yeah, I love baking.
Danielle's the one that
Anything.
got me like thinking like, okay, I could possibly do this, because she would kind of like randomly like send like, oh hey, I'm making this today, or here's my plate, this is what I ate, and I'm like, you're on a what? Like that's not, girl, all that cheese.
Oh yeah,
'cause I
the
love
cheese
cheese.
chips that Danielle makes.
I feel like I
You can
base
hear me
my
eating
food
them in
choices-
episode 93.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I base my food choices off of like what kind of cheese is gonna go with it. Like is this a pepper jack? Is this like a Munster cheese?
So do you
Like-
have to? So if the cheese? Let me ask you this. I obviously not eat a lot of cheese, but I have to taste it for whatever stuff that I'm doing. So if it's like a cheese that's infused with something, do you have to like read the label? Like there's a blueberry cheese that is absolutely amazing that I
But
love.
blueberries are actually okay. Like any kind of berries are
But
okay.
I'm thinking that it has,
If it has added sugar,
yeah.
I mean, you just really have to look at it and like watch the serving sizes because obviously,
I mean, there is a way to avoid all things like aggravating, but I mean, I never was worried about that shit.
yeah, I'm not like super strict where like if it says sugar on the ingredients, I'm not going to eat it. Some people are that way.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to go the rest of my life without eating anything that says sugar on the label. That's
Right.
just not,
So did you know somebody that was successful at keto before you did it? Like, what made you choose to do the keto diet?
So I have a coworker who has diabetes. And so she would manage her diabetes basically with keto. And she lost a lot of weight. And so that's how I kind of knew, like, oh, this works. Well, she actually did like Atkins.
Oh, okay.
And so, but I did start following people on Instagram, you know, and seeing like other people have success. And that's kind of where it came from. I was like, oh, well, that's easy, because everything else, like Weight Watchers, like you have to track every single thing. And, you know, just like general macros, like where it's like low fat, high protein, like you have to track everything. And for me, when I first started, I didn't want to do that. So I was like,
It makes it hard to stick with something when you have to do extra work on top of already suffering because you're not eating what you really love, which is like cookies.
and you're eating fat-free cheese. Like, that's my biggest thing. I'm like, who wants to live their life eating fat-free cheese?
They have a lot of additives though. Like when you're taking out the fat.
There's so many.
Yeah. It's so processed.
Remember the
and
sawdust epidemic with like Parm? Like
Yeah, it was like half of it was like the tree bark. Yeah, it's most of it was like
extra.
Oh my god!
No, but it was really like tree. It was wood though, like legit. Yeah.
And they were adding it
To
make it look like
because it helps it with the consistency, and it's staying within its consistency while it's being stored. Because you know, most food is meant to break down.
Is there no other preservative outside of just plain wood that could have been used?
The answer is no.
Oh my god,
there is not. So
like, you just don't care about people at all.
Eat this 2x4 and shut the fuck up. Right.
They not like it's. Do we look like termites?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we do.
That is crazy. I wonder how they found out. Like, who found out that there was wood in their Parmesan?
I don't know. No,
It
was like you're eating it.
like a wood chip.
You know what? Fucking oak tree. What am
I actually think it was like the FDA found out about
Which is
it.
shut down right now. So
So it's a free for all, goddamn. MSG for everyone, goddamn it. Let's do it.
I don't know.
Can I see another one real quick?
She want a cupcake.
I thought you meant like a picture.
Michelle's over here.
We didn't get any pictures.
She's being the greediest of greedy, and I feel you.
No, it's okay.
Take a picture of your
I have like 6 more at home.
blondie.
I didn't bring the whole thing, so I'm like, I didn't want you to.
My blondie is half eating. Okay.
I still want to go further into the keto with the real food, because that's my problem. This kind of stuff I'd probably have once a month. I'm not a sweets person at all, but other food, like my issue, I feel like is potatoes. I don't really fuck with rice, but I love bread.
Cauliflower rice. Danielle, that's what you used to kind of go to.
Yeah, Danielle has sent me
I
her
was
recipe.
in.
But like, I love the mashed cauliflower.
Yeah, cauliflower mash. That one's good. Now me, y'all don't have to forgive me. I just was like, I could have a cup of rice every day, just one small.
You can't do wild rice either.
Wild rice is
No
disgusting.
grains, honey.
No grains at all.
Danielle just out. Hey, just on GP.
Like
this
no
is nasty.
corn.
No farro. No farro. Damn, I love farro too.
Yeah, you can't.
No, so no quinoa then.
No.
No. I sent you a whole list of notes.
I know, but I want to try again. Like, please.
I feel like I just kind of loaded up on good veggies. Like if I wanted
veggies.
something, I would just get like my go-to was just like I'm gonna buy a bag of spinach, or I'm gonna get.
I did green beans and
Just
I love
like,
green beans and bacon.
and then I would just throw like a mushroom or just something to fill it, kind of, because like I was eating little to no carbs, but I wasn't super strict on the vegetables, which I know because there's a lot of vegetables that have lots of starch in them. But I just kind of made sure that I didn't have a carb at every meal because I'm a carb person.
I am too. That's why I'm fat. So here's my question. So I actually have to taste food because that's what I do. How hard or how bad would that be if I had to have like a tablespoon of like mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes, or I have to try this rice pilaf, or you know what I'm saying? It's not all the time, but I will have to like taste for, because I'm not gonna put put anything in front of somebody without first trying it. So
well, I mean, I guess because everyone's body is different. So like for me, my limit of being in ketosis might be 40 or 50 grams of carbs, and yours might be, 60 or 70, or it might be 20. It just depends.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's where, I brought my ketone meter. So you kind of have to test and kind of.
I'm gonna be shamed.
But you kind of have to test and see like where your limit was, like how many carbs is going to kick you out of ketosis.
Oh,
so
wow.
Or like what foods are going to raise your insulin, right?
Whatever carbs I eat is going to take me out of my zen, and then.
But like for me, like I could drink this glass of wine or have, a few potatoes, not like French fries, or, go to Chick-fil-A and have some nuggets or whatever, and still be in ketosis.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not just going to be like, oh, you had a carb, like, bad girl.
Oh, well, bitch, 17 pounds. Here they come.
Right.
Right.
So in moderation, obviously, but if you're having like a full plate of carbs, it's not going to work.
No, I don't plan on doing that, but I just definitely, obviously not to be all serious, but I really take what I do very seriously. And I refuse to put something in front of somebody that I've not myself tried.
Well,
like,
right.
I don't care about.
Like I had a brownie last night and a cheesecake this morning. Like,
it's
right.
a keto brownie and it's a keto thing.
Well, right.
You're
But
not gonna get thrown out just by tasting the food that you cook.
Yeah, and that's all I was wondering.
Because honestly, I mean, for a while there, probably for like a month, maybe about 5 weeks, I did it real hardcore. And then maybe it was like 3 months. I was just kind of like halfway in, halfway out. And then in November, I was like, I don't care no more. I can't.
Going back to the car.
But I really haven't gained that much weight back. That's what's crazy. It's like, so if I wanted to probably start up again, I'd be like, sure.
Right.
Because I mean, I didn't even really start gaining weight until I really was like, I don't fucking care. When I was like, I care a little bit, I was cool. I was keep maintaining.
right.
When I really quit, I mean, maybe I think I gained about 5-6 pounds, but I didn't gain back like the 20 that I lost. But
Get it.
but it was
Danielle's over here now looking currently like a crackhead because she has been faithful to keto.
I have not been faithful. I have last 2 weeks I've like all the way fallen off.
But you still
not all the way.
She's still built like a crackhead though. I'm just
But
saying.
you see, you kind of, it's not like that's what I think is the hard part. I'm gonna be the one, I'm gonna cuss myself out this time. I feel like because it's not like one of those crash diets, you don't just balloon back up so fast.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gradual, because it's like a natural thing. Did you guys watch, what was that on Netflix?
The Magic Pill?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That actually, I think if you watch that, I mean, I think you'll like it, because you know how you feel about meat anyway. Mm-hmm. It's kind of in line with that. Just kind of talks about how the food industry
just pushed me back to being a vegan. It only takes one documentary. For real, I was vegan for like a year because I watched Forks Over Knives, and I watched another one like just on a random Sunday. And I literally got up from watching the movie, was like, I'll be back. Went to the kitchen and was fucking just throwing meat away, like left and right. I was just throwing it all in the trash, just from watching like what the meat that we eat is exposed to and how it's processed. And
yeah. See, this is similar, but it's kind of about grains, carbs, that kind of thing. Because when you watch it, you're like, they tricked us. You know what I mean? You feel swindled.
Yeah. Everything's just processed to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. Is that's why, the fattier foods is better for you, because you have all this stuff which you don't even know how to pronounce that's in the food, and that stuff has an adverse effect on your body. Like it's not even natural. So why you may as well, it's like turkey bacon versus regular bacon. Right. All the sodium and everything that they have to add to turkey bacon, you may as well just eat regular bacon.
But if you don't like pork though.
Yeah, but I'm just.
Well, I mean, in that case, obviously, but so I was listening to a documentary the other day. I guess it was a podcast. I don't know. It was some video. Anyways, and the guy was kind of saying like, okay, 10,000 years ago or how many ever, like they didn't fucking eat the shit that we're eating today. So Abraham was like 3,000 years old. Like, you know, like, and they were freaking having babies and all kinds of stuff. Like they were.
I'll take the box potatoes.
Right, because you're forecast. But it's so true. Like they were eating meat and some vegetables, but they were mostly eating meat. Like they weren't eating grains every day. Like that was like a
luxury.
Right, a luxury, like something that they had every now and then.
Because vegetables were easily accessible because you grew them. There was always meat, and they cured it with salt so it would last a long time because there were no refrigerators. So it makes sense. They were just eating meat and vegetables.
And they were living.
Girl, let me go and get this 173
They also were like more physical though.
Right.
So there's that.
I feel like I just came at the end of the conversation and I was like, okay, and I have no idea what the fuck I just agreed to.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So I remember looking at your Instagram and I noticed like how more confident, like you slumped over in a lot of your pictures. And then once you started to lose the weight, like you started to stand up more straight. Yeah. And you know, like I even read like one of your posts where you were saying how you didn't used to wear your hair up.
Oh yeah.
You know, because you felt like it made
My face
you
look, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so did you feel like you were trapped and like you had to withdraw into yourself before you lost the weight?
I mean, honestly, for the longest time, like I knew that I was overweight, but it's kind of like a reverse body dysmorphia where like you don't really realize just how big you are because you like learn to dress it.
Yeah.
Right. So like whenever I lost all the weight, like people didn't notice for a long time. And then all of a sudden they're like, what the hell? Like
I really didn't notice either, even though I had only seen you in print.
right.
I still was like, what you mean she lost weight? Where?
Yeah, you look the same.
Right. But I feel like I covered it up well. And so then like whenever I actually bought new clothes and was wearing like tighter jeans and like more fitting clothes, people are like, she had weight loss surgery. I'm like, no.
Say Lil Mama. You know how that you really Lil Mama.
Right. But like I was saying, I don't think that I actually realized, like there will be moments in time where I would look at myself and be like, you know, like a gag reflex. And but that would last for just a second because then I'm not standing there. And I would say like, I'm just going to walk around without my top on. Like, so I'm forced to look at this, but you know, I have a son and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to subject him to that either. But I just wanted so much for it to sink in, you know, like I would see it. And then I would cover it up and be like, oh, look, fine. You know, like, I'm cute still, you know, whatever. Right.
You don't see this lip gloss, bitch? What?
But I never wore, like, really makeup or even lips. Like, no, never.
Oh, wow.
I was just, like, very plain and, you know. But, yes, now I'm like, oh, yeah, girl, like.
So did your friends say anything to you about your weight?
So my sister actually, she's my little sister, and I love her so much, but she was telling me about her friend that like went to Mexico and had weight loss surgery. And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't feel like this friend actually needed it because now but whatever, like
she was like, no, I'm not going to do it.
She was telling me how, you know, now like this girl like helps other ladies, like, you know, takes them down to this place in Mexico and like helps them. And I'm like,
you're a fat mule.
Okay. Well, because obviously you don't feel comfortable like going to another country to have surgery, but
I mean, I really was thinking that she was like passing some drugs or something like that. So when you said fat, I was like, okay, you know, yeah.
So
girls out here, they trying to get
I felt
skinny.
like she was kind of like hinting, you know, like that I should do it.
Find out your sister's petty.
So, I mean, I know she did it out of love and concern or whatever. She's a nurse, so like she kind of.
Oh, she's aware.
And so I said, I don't need to have surgery to lose weight. Like, I can lose weight without surgery. And so I tell her, like, now she is like my biggest advocate. She was like, girl, she will tell anybody. She will share my page with anybody. She will sing it through the heavens. Like,
sweet.
and I tell her all the time, I'm like, see, I told you I didn't need to have weight loss surgery.
Okay. Now you got your receipts though. Now she believes you. Before she was like, oh girl, whatever.
Right.
She's like, anyway, let me get you a man.
And my husband always, I don't know if you saw the pictures of my husband on my Instagram page, but he's like a super fit guy. Like, and he's always been into fitness. Like, that's always been his thing. And, you know, I always felt so guilty because I'm like, I have this really fit husband.
And bitch, my skin is loose. I don't give a fuck.
You know what? Don't talk.
No, I'm not making fun of her. I know how she feels because I don't know why, but for a while, like, I would always get like these super fit guys. I'm like, bitch, my arms jiggles a little bit. Like,
A lot of it, okay? Not a little bit, a lot of it. Like,
yes, I have skin, bitch. I don't know what you got going on.
so he would always, he works out of the country. So, like, he actually came home for knee surgery and was home for like 18 months. So, like, he would try to get me to go to the gym with him, and I would go for a couple days, and I'm like, I can't do this. You know, this is not the life
You're
for
like,
me.
this ain't for me, fam.
Well, I was 255 pounds. Like, I was just
it's kinda
not
hard to go around.
there. So, you know, and so he would get discouraged with me, and I would always tell him, like, okay, I'm going to do this diet, like, blah, blah, blah. And he like, okay, you know, because I had said it 1,000 times. And so, I don't know. I mean, I know he was always like an encourager, and he's the opposite of me where I need like more nurturing. And he's like, if you tell him he can't do something or you're like talking shit to him, that's like his motivation.
Oh, wow.
But so, like, he's like, that's the way he tries to motivate you. Like, you can't do that, or, you know, whatever. Like,
But that doesn't work for you.
for me.
You're like, you're telling me I ain't shit.
Right.
See, that's not me either. I'm like, stop abusing me.
And you're like, you know what? I can't.
so
You're
fucking
right. Oh my God.
So, you know, so whenever I started and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, okay, you know, whatever.
And still he was doubting.
Yeah, I mean, because we've been together for 17 years.
Wow. And
So-
you haven't killed him yet. Girl, look at you.
But he's been, like, out of the country 90% of the time for 12. So, I mean,
So you're like, I got a friend. He comes back sometimes.
right. He put a ring on it, but
But it's my homie loving friend.
right. So, yeah.
So that's what Danielle would like actually in her life.
Stay
Like,
away.
you pay the
Stay away.
mortgage, but
A stay away husband. Stay away
I
husband.
always tell people I have the perfect marriage. Like,
Y'all miss each other. That's why
Yeah.
you have the time to miss, and that's what every fucking body needs. Let me miss you,
right.
motherfucker. Please, please.
True.
Ugh.
Like, even if we're in the same house, can we have some things we do
Like,
separately?
can you not breathe my air tonight?
Why are you trying to get over this divider in the bed? I told you to stay on your side.
Are you breathing in this room? The fuck? Who told you to come in here and breathe? No,
So-
I have a legitimate question. No, really.
Okay,
quick.
go ahead.
Sorry. Is there any alcohol at all that is acceptable on keto? Alcohol, wine, whatever. I know wine probably isn't, but
Well, wine is okay, like a dry wine. Like, this is a little sweet, but usually I drink Chardonnay or like a Pinot Grigio. Before I would drink like all the sweet shit. Moscato and Riesling, yeah. But
So reds would probably be the best.
yeah, but I'm not there. My palate's not there yet.
Oh, I know.
I'm trying
might
to
not ever
grow
get there.
up. I'm trying to grow up.
I live there.
I actually
Vodka.
think when I read up on some stuff that white had less carbs than red.
Some.
Blasphemy.
It just depends. The thing with alcohol on keto is like your body has hierarchy of like what it burns. Alcohol is like number one. So like if you're drinking alcohol, like your body burns through that because it has nowhere to store it. So it's gonna burn. It's gonna stop fat burning. Stop like processing all of your food, like, and burn off this alcohol.
Oh, cool.
So it doesn't necessarily, like, I mean, I guess in some cases, like if you're drinking beer, like it could you could gain
I meant
weight.
more
but
so, I guess, the sugar. Like, that's what I was concerned.
So I haven't found. So there's a like Dry Farm ones. Like it's a subscription. I've never tried it, but I've heard other people talk about it, and they take they get wine from like overseas, where like apparently it's all the sugar is like fermented out of the wine or something.
That sounds like a miserable experience.
But the people who have had it say that it's really good, but like the whole bottle has like 1 carb.
Oh my God.
Right. But I think it's like $60 for like,
by volume on that.
I don't know.
This bitch gets mad when I be like, Michelle. I'm like, so if you don't have any carbs, how drunk can you get?
But I mean, like solid vodka or like tequila, those all have 0 carbs.
Oh, that was my go-to.
So, so it's brown liquor. See, I'm really into whiskey.
No, vodka. It's white liquor. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying so
For the carb free.
shit, carbs.
But really, alcohol really don't have.
Really
alcohol by
like
itself
0
really don't
carbs,
have
right?
It's the sugar that's kind
It's
of
like all the mixers.
Yeah.
yeah, straight.
I thought that I thought the sugar from like the brown liquor.
It depends. Like if you get the caramel crown, I mean, or the
Fuck all that. I
Right.
like Maker's Mark specifically.
If you drink it straight, you're fine.
Oh, bitch. Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you how I know.
Thank you. Thank you,
I mean,
Michelle.
I'm not really
So how long have you been doing keto?
since November of 2017. So like
That's a relatively short time to lose 90 pounds. Like that's a lot. So it's like about a year. But I guess it's kind of, yeah, but that's still a lot.
But like in that whole time, like I've never sat down and had like a non-keto meal.
Really?
Like not once. And I honestly don't really have yeah,
What
but
do you eat for breakfast? That's where I struggle.
okay,
Actually,
so
I don't struggle at
breakfast, I stop at Whataburger and I get 2 sausage patties, a round egg with a slice of cheese.
Oh, that sounds kind of good.
It's actually amazing. And I just kind of put the sausage on the outside and the egg in the middle. It's like a little bit.
I do that at Jack in the Box.
I just love Whataburger sausage. It's like it's not like that processed sausage patty.
Yeah,
it's like real sausage. Or like I make sausage balls with like almond flour, the Whataburger sausage from HEB, like the ground sausage.
Yeah.
And
I give all my money to Whataburger.
I do. I love their like before keto. I was like spicy ketchup, yes.
Yeah.
Like
That
now,
spicy ketchup is good.
that's probably
Spicy
like
ketchup
the
is
one
light.
thing I really miss is the fucking spicy ketchup from Whataburger. So sausage balls, or like sometimes I'll make like the muffins, like with like eggs and bacon, sausage, or whatever.
What do you put in your sausage balls all the way?
I have a recipe in my highlights, boo, but
Yes. Okay, that's fine. I don't even know how to work Instagram
but
stories.
it's almond flour, the sausage, cheese. You could put like cream cheese, butter, like just mix it up.
Since you're trying to check me, I'm gonna go and see what's in your highlights.
No, it's just easier to keep it there.
Go.
It's easy to keep it there.
Don't try to go
people
back now.
ask, like, oh. And instead of like typing it out,
Right, it's right there.
I'll be like, oh yeah, girl, it's in my highlights.
Oh, recipes. Okay.
Right.
Check my story, boo.
So,
Oh, see.
like,
Well, you just taught me something.
oh,
Oh, there it is.
yeah. So an egg, almond flour, cheese, butter. Yeah, and you just mix it all up and like make little balls and put them in the oven. And they're
Michelle
really
likes
good.
balls.
I sure do, in my mouth and in the oven.
But they always end up in her mouth.
Oops, all over your face, kid.
And they're really good with salsa.
Salsa? I might have to try that.
Let me see. Okay. All right. So, had you always been overweight before?
Like on and off. I feel like I never was like, I mean, I was always like a thick
girl.
Right. I mean, hence the black husband. I'm like,
Oh, you better stop it.
no, I mean, I was always smaller, like until I met my husband, probably. And I swear, all we did for the first like 3 years was like go out to eat and like lay up.
And they keep their weight down, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So we were like going to Bennigan's. Right.
Oh, and Bennigan's?
Right.
Monte Cristo sandwich?
Ew, that
That was never my favorite sandwich, but people were on that.
Those egg rolls, though.
that's what I used to do. Southwest egg rolls.
Southwest
Yes.
egg
So
rolls.
we
so
both
good.
worked at the casino, and so we would get off work super late, and we would go to Bennigan's, or we would go to IHOP, or we would go to whatever, and then we would go lay down, and
Yeah, that laying down part. That's
Right.
the one.
So,
That would have you.
Shut up. Sharonda.
so I remember at one point, like we were like watching what we ate, and we were like exercising, and even at that point, I wasn't big, but I was gaining. And so whenever he went to Afghanistan the first time, I was like, okay, I joined Curves. I was like, I'm about to be fine when he comes back, because it was supposed to be like, he was supposed to be gone for 1 year. And I joined. I was having like menstrual issues. And I didn't have like a cycle for like 6 months. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to go to the doctor. Like,
Yeah.
And so I went to the doctor. They're like, no, you're fine. They gave me a pregnancy test. Like, it was fine. He's like, here's this prescription. You can go and it'll like basically force you to shed the lining of your uterus. Like, you'll have your period.
Yeah.
So I was like 20, 21. I went to the pharmacy. It was like $150. I'm like, fuck you. Like, there ain't shit. Like, you said there ain't shit wrong with me. Like, I'm not spending this money. Like, I was a college student. So I'm like, I'm not spending this money for no reason. So like 3 more months goes by. My husband leaves, and I'm like, okay, well, at the time he wasn't my husband, but I'm like, okay, I'm getting kind of bloated, so I need to, like, I guess I was thinking it was because I hadn't started. So I called, and I'm like, hey, can you call that prescription back? They're like, well, you need to take another pregnancy test. So I sent my mom to the store, because I lived with my mom, and I was like, hey, they're going to call that prescription in, but I need to take another test. So she's like, okay, I'll bring one home.
The only time a mom is like okay with their college kids saying,
Right.
"Get me a pregnancy
So
test."
the next morning, I was getting ready to take my sister to school, and I woke up and I went to the bathroom, peed on it, set it by my bed. I'm like, okay, because I had a doctor's appointment for that day to go back in to get the prescription. And so I look, and that bitch is positive as fuck. And I was so at that point, I'm freaking out, but my husband, he's on the opposite, complete opposite time zone. So it's not and he was in Afghanistan 10, 12 years ago. It's not like I could call him. Mm-hmm. So I'm crying, calling the doctor's office. I'm like, it's positive. They're like, okay, come in. And so I go in, and I was 12 weeks pregnant.
Girl, so if you would have shed that lining, that would have been it.
Oh my God.
I tell myself that all the time. Had I been okay, here's my $150, I would have miscarried my child.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
And then they would have been like, oh, oops.
Well, whenever I went in, I remember it was my brother's birthday the first time, so it was June the 28th. And so the second time that I went in was at the end of August or something. I was 11 weeks in some days. But they said I conceived the week of June the 20th. So when I was there on the 28th, it was barely even anything. So it didn't show up.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, though, that's crazy. But that's how God works.
Right. So from that point on, it was obviously I gained a lot of weight then, and then my husband was gone, and I was a single mom basically with the baby. So I was eating all the bull crap. And I remember he bought me a treadmill, and I lost some weight. I would walk and watch the hills.
Oh my
me
God.
too.
That show was so good.
Yes, it was.
But I never really was
It's the food.
right. Yeah. And just stress eating. So I remember when I started teaching 7 years ago, I was over 200 pounds, but I gained 50 pounds that year.
Oh my God.
Just from the stress of wanting to be perfect and finding whatever. And I was eating out all the time, and my son plays football, so we're never home in the afternoons. So yeah, that was when it really escalated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And could you imagine little Brayden wouldn't have a best friend?
Girl.
And you're like, would that he wouldn't? I'm just kidding.
And I wouldn't have Sarah. I'm like,
I know.
So do you feel like you have to be perfect now?
for like as a teacher? No.
No, I mean, a minute ago you said like you was stressing out, like having to be the perfect person.
Oh, I meant like the perfect teacher.
Oh,
like
okay.
my first year teaching, I like wanted everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was just because I had always wanted to be a teacher like my whole life. Like what little girl doesn't really want to be a teacher? You know?
I did have a moment.
Right.
Me, I never wanted to be a teacher.
Not me. I always did. Yeah. You sit down.
Like
Yes.
I had a terrible
I'm good at that.
childhood, so like I loved kids and I just never wanted to be a mom. I was just terrified of like carrying that on to another like
Generation.
right. And so
I didn't volunteer. Did I say?
Nope.
No, I didn't say.
Okay, so anyway, we all have some kind of influence, but I did have another question for you, and now it escapes me. So
I have one.
Go ahead.
We didn't
Shauna.
properly stereotype her.
Oh.
So when is your birthday?
July
Are you
Like what?
Cancer?
17th. Yes,
So you're
Cancer.
Psycho. Do you be crying in the car?
I was laughing at myself on the way here, but no, I guess it depends on the song that's on.
Whatever it is, you're just
Yeah.
like,
The wind blew this way. Ooh, let me cry.
did you ever know?
I am
that
super
you-
sensitive.
Yeah. Cancer can
Do
be
you
quite
like not
sensitive.
like people you don't know? Like cancers are very like protective of their like home and space and all that other shit.
Not that I don't like them, but I'm
just don't wanna
not
get
very
close.
trusting.
Yeah, you don't wanna get
Yeah.
close.
You're
no, girl.
apprehensive. Oh,
Yeah.
that's why y'all like each other, because y'all probably hug and cry on each other's Okay, her and Sarah.
Oh, Sarah's a cancer too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cancer.
Yeah, our
Good for you.
birthday's like hers was on the 16th. Is that right?
Why you keep
Or the
looking away? Does it hurt?
Yes.
Yes.
The
like
thought. My nephew was a Cancer. His birthday is July 13th. And when he was born, all he did, he had a really little ass. He had a really little mouth. But he would be
Well,
like,
he was a baby.
no. Like, you know how some people have like a small ass mouth? Like, you know, like people have a regular sized face, right? But some people have a mouth that's like
that's
this
me.
big.
I feel like my little lips.
Oh, but
People
he
are
would-
like, why don't you wear lipstick more? I'm like, on what?
On my teeth,
okay.
bitch. What do you want me to do?
No, know thyself. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
good that you have that self awareness. But he would be like,
Like a bird? Like that?
Like a squirrel or something.
Like the bird from the Kanye
I swear
video.
to God, he sound low. That's what he sound like. Now his voice is like, he's super,
Like a
super
braided
tall.
voice?
You know, he's like really tall and it's like deep, but it's
Oh.
not deep because it ain't deep. But it's like,
It's shallow deep.
it might be like,
How it's shallow deep. That's an oxymoron.
it's like it's not really deep, but you could tell that he's like growing into a man. But when he cries, he still cries. He'd be like, leave me alone. I'm like, boy, you ain't changed at all. So here was my other question that I couldn't remember, but now I remember. Where are y'all from? You said that y'all worked at the casino. So what casino did you work at?
We worked at the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Louisiana.
Doja.
So was there an actual city that's nearby that?
Shreveport.
I'm kidding.
The hometown of Danielle.
Do you know where Bossier City is? She is.
I do know where
Everybody
Bossier
knows
City
Everybody
is.
knows Bossier City.
No, everybody does not know.
Except you.
I'm from
No,
Benton,
there are
and
people
my
who don't know.
husband's actually from Belcher.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know where
that
either
is.
of those are, right?
Benton, really?
Benton.
Oh, Benton.
Benton.
I was like, Benton, Louisiana.
I know
thought
where
that
Belcher is.
Really?
Oddly, I know where Belcher is more than I know what you're talking about.
Bossier is like a freeway over.
Right. It's like across the river.
You know how I know what it is? From looking at maps, not from actually
Seriously?
going anywhere.
It's not even
Oh.
a city. Like
Yes,
they have a village limit
if
sign.
there's word,
Village.
if there's a word
it's a
on
village.
it.
Don't when you first get in there, it's like a cemetery, like right? No, that's Shreveport.
I've never
Lying.
been
But
up
Bossier,
there.
It's spelled fucked up.
BOSS.
Bossier.
Bossier.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And I remember going there as a kid.
Well,
and I
that's
was
why I
like,
don't know what
There's
you're talking
an
about
Air
'cause
Force
you didn't
base
say it
there.
right.
going through there as a kid, I was like, why
didn't
are
say
we
it
in
like
Bossier?
You didn't say Bossier.
Bossier.
Oh well, it's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
But
Bossier
it's
Parish. Yeah.
Okay. So country French.
No,
I'm trying to figure out when that. Okay.
No, that's really how that shit's spelled though, because yeah,
Oh yeah.
books.
Yeah.
But-
Pronunciations.
But it looked like Bossier Parish when you come in there.
Yeah,
And it's not.
and that's how they need to. That's how they need to say it. Because if you want people in America, though, The way we pronounce S to understand,
ma'am. Not this close to Louisiana. Don't do that.
Oh, all the way close to it. I don't care. All up and through my DNA. If they want us, if the people inside of me want us to know how to say that, they need to pronounce that shit like it's spelled
Phonetically.
All
Thank
y'all.
you.
All of y'all.
You're a teacher. You get it. Always. I know people right now, adults who do that. They're like, they read a word all the way wrong because they spell it and say it phonetically.
First of all, stop using your finger to read the word.
Right.
C-A-U-R-A. That's how I would have been like, but, and then I was like, where is that? What is that? I'm thinking, is there something in Louisiana that has a J in it like that?
Girl.
And it never was. Anyway, I'm fairly finished because I don't have any more questions. Y'all have questions?
Okay, so the question that you asked me before it cut off was something about like, I forgot. It was like, how do people get started or no?
Oh, what advice would you give? Would you give? So talk to me as a human.
Okay, so this is what I tell people.
As opposed to
a
like-
non-human. The fuck?
Okay. People who send me messages every day, like, hey, I want to get started. Like, what do I do? So I'm like, okay.
Google it, bitch.
Right. No. So I do have a highlight that has like
Get these motherfucking highlights.
I usually send them there because I have all the information. But so basically what I tell people is to just start by cutting the sugar and the grains from their diet first. And then like if that's something that you can do and like really get into it, then like get more in depth with it. But like if
cutting the carbs.
Right. But like if you could go, if you're like, oh, I can't go a week without rice, well, then this is not for you. Like if you truly feel
you're gonna suffer through that first,
right? But like if you can go 2 weeks and not eat sugar and not eat grains, then okay, we can move on past that. But like if that's just not something that you're willing or able to do, then like
so if you like doing a practice kick, right?
Right.
Practice kick is first 2 weeks, no grains,
right?
no
Because
sugar.
those are going to be the hardest. Like weeks.
There's more?
Well, no, I'm just saying like because your body like now your body uses glucose for energy, right? So like you stop the glucose in your body, so your body has to
fat.
switch, and it's like not an easy process. I mean, it's more natural for your body to burn fat than glucose, and it's easier process, but like your body for so long has been burning glucose.
Got it.
So, I mean, you go through, sugar's like crack, literally.
It's white crack. Yeah, it's crack.
Whenever you cut that, and so all the carbs that you eat basically turn into sugar.
Yes.
So, like, you're cutting all of this glucose from your diet. Like, your body is going to go through some stuff.
But I like tortillas.
I personally, so I eat low carb tortillas, but that's the thing. Like, you don't have to completely get rid of everything. Like, there are dupes for everything.
Okay.
So, like the cauliflower rice or the mashed cauliflower or like low carb.
Did you ever get the keto flu?
I didn't. I know, like,
first of all,
everyone.
the fuck is that?
It's just like where your body is like depleted and you just need like electrolytes.
I had that. Like I literally drank some smart water.
Yeah.
And I just felt like instantly
like
felt
Powerade Zero, or like a lady at my job the other day is like, oh, I just feel dizzy. I'm like, Powerade Zero, honey. Like just buy some or drink salt water. Like some people can
the pickle
literally
juice.
take a shot of salt and be fine. My best friend from high school, she got the keto rash, and I'm like,
yeah, like
I've
you
never
break
even
out.
heard of it.
Oh my god, it's too much.
But it's just like, but
What's the name of her hometown?
Overwhelming.
That's what I feel. That's the way you feel about all these keto.
Oh, Bossier.
That's what you feel about.
Bossier.
You feel Bossier about all this stuff.
Right.
but I never got the keto flu.
Either. I was cranky bitch, but I was sick.
I did feel super tired. But again, like your body is like changing the way that it's
So
processing.
everything you just said, literally, is that like the definition of ketosis?
No. I mean, yeah, ketosis is basically like your body is creating ketones to use for energy.
Yeah. That was what I liked so much about it, was that,
Your skin is better. Like all of your hormones are like in check. You're just like you have energy, and you're just like I don't know. I feel like just a
You're a whole
generally
better
like
person
happier
overall.
person.
Really? I'd be nice to people.
maybe
No.
not. That's
No.
not part of the change.
I mean,
You're hurty
Okay.
right now.
So are you, and that's not going to change.
Not hurty.
Okay. Well, okay. The gift of the.
All right, so
You want to do the keto thing? The test?
oh, we can if you want.
Yeah.
But are we gonna do it on
I don't want to do the test.
Have you ever tested?
I'm scared I'm gonna be positive.
You just pee on a stick, right?
No. Well, I brought the to test your blood sugar. Have you ever tested your blood sugar? Well, because blood sugar is like one of the main reasons why people do keto. So if your blood sugar's high and you're producing all this insulin, then like you become insulin resistant. Like it's just like a big old thing. And
Wow.
so the whole main purpose of like keto and intermittent fasting, I don't know if you practice that, is just like to reduce the amount of insulin or
in
like
your
the times that your body spikes insulin, which like creates all this fat storage and blah blah blah. Like
still
there's
do
a lot
that.
of science behind it, but I don't know. I just thought it might be interesting because sometimes like if you don't know, like you might just naturally have a higher blood sugar. So like
Let's do it off air though. Let's do it.
I don't want to
Well-
fucking do this.
I'm interested in doing it. So
We can do it. We can just do it off air.
okay.
So then
Okay,
we're gonna review the wine.
Yeah,
and-
great. Go first.
No,
I
you.
don't go first. I'm not even finished.
Bitch, I would throw this by
I mean, I'll take some more
I don't know
though.
the fuck. No, it's
empty?
Yeah,
Sorry, we're
Okay.
alcoholics.
How did you like the wine, Ashley?
I mean, I liked it a lot. I have recently switched over to like drier Chardonnay, but it tastes a little sweet.
Yeah.
You taste a little sweet tea?
But it might just be my palate because I don't really eat or drink.
So you taste like all the sugar and everything now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, if you're not used to this type of sugar, like, it might be different for your palate.
Okay. Sure.
23. I like it.
So we rate the wine based on what it is: taste,
Clarity.
clarity,
aroma.
appearance, aroma. Like 5 points each. The
Make
highest.
it fancy.
So the highest that you can give the wine is a 25. Because she didn't know what number you were talking about. I saw her face.
I know. She's just asking about.
I'm thinking, like, okay, usually we go to 10.
Yeah, right. So it's like.
Three. What does it even mean?
Right. So she didn't know. That's why I was saying that. So that's what the wine
Gotcha.
rate is.
Well, I've said that because even though I give it a number, I don't rate it on any of that. I just say whichever number I like the best out of the 25.
14%, bitch. 14% get you a 23. Next. I'm with you on that though.
It is to me, I don't really taste the sweetness of it. I taste more of on a dry side, and it tastes like it has liquor in it. To me, it does.
And that's it? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not the wine snob. Okay, I taste the sugar, yes. Also the bourbon barrel, I think when we had the last one on here, I really liked it too, because it's not overpowering like that fucking oak. I like that the bourbon barrel flavor, and the finish is nice. It's not like super dry to me, because I really like dry wine. So I would give it like a 24. It's damn near perfect, and I don't like whites, as in wine. That's true.
Oh, you're
Cool.
So you gave it a 24. You gave it a 20.
3.
23. I'll give it a 21. So it's a 23 overall.
Get it?
That's pretty good.
Dopeness.
So if you want to contribute to our show,
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that supposed to be in the beginning?
you can be there either way.
If you would like to be a financial contributor to Between Us Girls, you can head over to www.patreon.com/Between Us Girls and give us your last $2.
Help us build our studio. Oh Lord, are you gonna do this all night?
What? That sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my crunk sound. It's that 14%, bitch.
Oh Lord. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Between between us girls. But don't keep it a secret. Listen and share with everyone you know. See you next week.